Well, hello, everyone. How is everyone doing today? Oh man, I've been busy. Do you just have those weeks where you're just stupid busy? Well, I'm having one of those weeks. And I have an interesting problem that I want to run by everyone. And I only have an hour today because I have a meeting. Oh, what was that? I better shut my emails and stuff down, or those will never end. But I have a meeting in an hour, and then I have a 30-minute lunch, and then I have another meeting at 1. Alex Headley, good to see you. Good to see you. Till Learn Code, good afternoon. Hey, Tarek, how you doing? Dan says, that was a long pause between stupid and busy. I agree. Yeah, I'm both. So I had an interesting problem, and I don't have a lot of time to chit chat, so I thought we'd just jump right into the problem. Let's see. Okay. Am I on? There we go. Alrighty. So, a little inception here. My problem is async events. Yay! Async events. Now, it's not what you're thinking. So I'm just gonna create a new project to show you my problem, and then I'm gonna show you some solutions that I came up with that may or may not work, or may work, and the one I chose to go with. Yes, Alex, this is the one I tweeted about. So I'm just gonna create a new WPF project. I don't care what I call it. Hopefully I have enough time to set this all up. So everyone knows that, async void for events is kind of like you gotta have them, right? It's kind of a big thing. Like it's expected. If you have an event, it's async void. But who's that? Holliger, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining. I'm gonna set up. I'm gonna create a new control here. And if my music is too loud, let me know and I can lower it. I'm still adjusting my audio levels with my new system, so if something sounds off, let me know and I can adjust it. Okay, so I'm gonna say my custom control, right? And in this custom control, we're gonna have a button that does something. I don't know what it is, what it's gonna do, but it's gonna do something. And when I click it, we're gonna invoke some custom events. Now, generally when you have a custom event, you'll do something like this, right? You'll have like a public event handler, right? Event args, something like that, and then the name of event, like saving, right? So that would be the name of the event, and then we do the same thing for saved. Okay, now in this case, let me create some event args here. I have a scenario where I have a saving and saved event. So let's create some event args for saving because they're cancelable. So we'll say saving event args. And if you can't, if I need to blow up my my screen, let me know. Oh, whoops, needs to be a class, doesn't it? Saving event args, and these are cancelable. Cancelable event args. Cancel event args. Okay. And I'm just gonna leave it like this for now, because cancel event args are cancelable. Blah 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 blah. Dan says, I haven't looked at how they did it for Blazor, but love those delegates because you can provide an asynchronous or async handler. Yes, seems rather destructive to blow up your screen. The font size is fine. Okay, cool. Okay, so we have the saving event args, and these are cancelable. So for example, let's create some. We'll say saving args equals new saving event args. Okay, and the saving args, which I misspelled, I can't rename. They have this cancelable, like so e.cancel equals true. So what I want to say is if save args.cancel, if not cancel, so if we don't cancel it, we're going to invoke the saved event. Right? Something like that. Follow me so far, right? So first we're going to say saving invoke, whoops, dot. And we're going to pass in our args, and we'll say this, and pass in our saving args, args. I can't even say args. Okay, so the idea here is in my custom control, when someone clicks that button, I'm going to invoke the saving event. And I'm passing in some saving arguments. Now, if the handler of this event cancels the event, we're not going to fire the saved event. Instead, we're going to ignore it. Otherwise, we're going to invoke it. Okay, sounds great, right? Yeah, sounds great. Okay, so let's go into the main window here. Let me build. I just want to make sure I'm building. You never know what I broke. Okay, it looks good. So now I'm going to define my local, my custom control. Okay, so here's my click me. Now let's give this a name because I want to work in code. Button. Let's go in the code behind. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook into the saving event. And then I'm going to hook into the saved event. All right. I want these in order. Let me get these in order. Okay, so hope everyone's following me so far. So now the expectation is I'm going to hit some breakpoints. I'm going to run the application. And it opened over here, of course. I'm going to click the button. The first one is the saving. And then the saved. Okay. Seems like it worked pretty good, right? Now I'm going to say e.cancel. And where's my... Oh my gosh. Come on, Brian. I forgot to change my arg type here. Let me just fix that. My bad. There we go. Okay, so now if I say e.cancel equals true, the expectation is now we should not hit the saved event, correct? So let's give this a test. Okay, so we hit our saving, we canceled the event, and we did not hit the saves because we canceled the process, right? It didn't save because we canceled it, therefore no saved. Perfect. This works great. This works great. Well, here's the problem. Right? Because we're in this world of async await. Let's say for some reason, I'm going to add a method, an async method that I have to await. In this case, I'm going to say task dot, what is it? No. Thread dot sleep, no, task dot delay. Delay, that's what it is. Man, my brain's not working. I'm going to go for like 5 seconds. Right? I'm going to make it long, right? So we're going to await async void 5 seconds. We're going to wait 5 seconds before we invoke the saved event, right? I mean, because we're looking at this, we're like, hey, yeah, that should work. I mean, it shouldn't matter, right? So let's run the application. I'm going to click the button. Perfect. Okay. I forgot to take that out. My bad. Okay, so let's run this again. Hit it. Oh, wait a minute. Why did the save event hit so fast? I should have waited 5 seconds. Hold on, let's try this. Let's redo this. Let's try this again. I must have missed something, right? I'm going to click the button. Here's the saving. I want to await this task for 5 seconds and then run my saved event. Because I can't run this saved event unless my delay is run, right? This code, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is. But it didn't wait. It didn't wait. What the heck is going on? My custom events aren't working because of this stupid async await. And there is my problem. Yes, I see Jada Girl. Hey, Jada Girl. What's going on? I'm gonna have a special button to push just for Jada Girl when she shows up so I can hit the button and go, ah. For everyone watching, JD Girl is my 10-year-old daughter, so be kind. Be kind. Watch the language, please. Okay, so I hope everyone can see the problem I'm having. Okay, this is a real problem in a legacy product, okay? This is something I'm trying to solve as we speak. Now, solutions. Because obviously, we can't have an async void in this scenario. It doesn't work. I have to make sure that this saved event in my custom control right here is only invoked after the saving event. But if the customer puts any async code, like a writing to disk, which is very common for saving, it's going to happen in an asynchronous manner. And so I have to find a way to wait for that. Okay. So here are a few solutions that I came up with that didn't require a lot of additional code or references or NuGet packages or a ton of infrastructure, right? I needed something simple because I am working with a legacy product. I can't just go add all kinds of stuff to it. I have to work within the bounds of what I'm given. And for the sake of this example, this is all I'm given, okay? So keeping that in mind, let's go over some solutions that I've come up with that work, but I'm trying to find the one that I'm most happy with. One solution actually is to add some type of method on here that I can call. Like I'll say public void save complete. Right? Something like this. And let me put a CTOR on here. Because I can put like an action in here. Like it's almost like a callback, right? Like an action callback. And so when I create this, I can say, you know what? My callback is going to run this code. Okay. But then I'm going to have to pass in my args because those aren't available. So we have to do something like this, because I have to have access to those arguments still, right? So that might work. Then what am I doing here? I'm doing something wrong. Oh, okay. Can't do E. How about A? Can I do A? Okay, perfect. So this means I need to store this off. I'll just call that callback. And we'll set it equal to callback, right? You see where I'm going with this. Now we'll just call back. We'll be able to, well, actually, I have to make sure it's callback question mark dot invoke. Something like that, right? This. Okay. The Args guy, yeah. Good to see it, Juan. Good to see you. Okay, so I've modified my event args, right? So now what the requirement would be for this to work is after I await, I would have to make sure I call save complete, right? Like, I have to make sure that I remember to call save complete, because this save complete is going to be the actual method that invokes the logic to invoke the other event. So I am placing the responsibility of calling the next event, the saved event, onto the handler of the event, right? Of the saving event. So if I click this, okay, we're going to await that. 5 seconds are going to go by. I should probably actually lower this down, and then save. Okay, woo, it works. Let me make that 1 second. No, let's go 2 seconds. I can wait 2 seconds. Okay, so this works. It's pretty cool, right? It's like, oh, okay, yeah. I now can await asynchronous code. But here's the problem. I have to remember to always call save complete. If I don't, then I have broken the flow of the events. Saving, then saved. And Trust me, we have a system like this in this legacy product, and this is forgotten a lot. It's a documentation issue. It's not intuitive at all. You don't know you have to do this, right? So that's one solution. Okay, let's talk about a different solution. Okay, I don't like that solution personally. What do you think? What do you think about that solution? I don't like that solution because I don't want to put the onus of invoking the next round of logic in my business code on the actual handler of the event. I mean, that sounds silly to me. It really does. Okay, so save complete. We're gonna remove all this. Remove that. Remove that. Let's come back up here. Let's put this back where it was. This is going away. And that's going to go back to saving args. Whoops. Saving. Control J. Saving args. Okay, now we're back. Now we're back. Okay, so another approach we can take. It's similar. It's we can add what's called a func, right? Something like let's go public func of task run async. Right, something like that. So Jada Girl says, oh yeah, Brian got rid of the cage thingy around his microphone. It's not so bulky anymore. He says he likes it a lot better. Yes, Jade. Thank you for pointing that out. I got rid of that big honking thing. This is much cleaner, right? Much cleaner. So we can add this func. And then what I can do is after we invoke that event, I can say, hey, if run, oops, sorry. If saving args dot run async is not equal null. Well, actually, I could probably do this a different way. Just follow my logic. I could, right? Just follow the logic. Await saving args. Yeah, await saving args. And then I need async on my thing. Is that right? Oh, excuse me. Saving args at run async. So now I can await that in my code. Okay. But only if it's there. So what this does, it gives me the ability to, one, let's say I'm not running asynchronous code. Right? I'm not going to run asynchronous code. I'm going to run this. I'm going to click the button. There's our saving. There's our saved. Synchronous code will work. But if I want to run async code, I would have to do this. Run async. Right? And then await task.delay. Or actually, I don't even have to do that. I could return. Because it's the task, I could just return the task, right? Right? I could do that. What? Does not take one argument. Am I forgetting something? Help me out. I'm forgetting something. Can I not just return this? Does not take one. Well, this works. Help me with my logic. Something's wrong. Something's wrong with my logic. Func task does not take. Did I forget something? Look at this. Tell me what I'm forgetting. Func task, run async. Do I have to bring up Google for this? I'm pretty sure that's how I do it. Hold on. Okay, let me look. Let me look at this code. Because I actually had to Oh wait, no, I removed that code. That's not there anymore. Blech. Dan, you're watching. What am I doing wrong? There are no arguments here. Oh, you weren't watching. Okay, pay attention now. I have this. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Sorry. Sorry. I got it. I got it now. I got it. It's a property. It's a property. Okay. Okay, so now, if I wanted to run async code in this event handler, I would have to put it within run async, like this. Okay, and this would always run last. So I guess it's either all of my code goes in here or none of it. So it's either I'm running asynchronous code or I'm not. But, you know, let's go ahead. Let's run this application. I'm going to hit, you know, click me, wait 2 seconds, 1, 2, and then we hit the saved. So this works, but it's another, like, you have to know implementation details. Like if you're first going to run into like, oh, this async stuff, you know, async void, first I'm going to try this, right? And then I'm going to have all these problems of it not working and it's not going to work. And I'm going to look at documentation and say, oh, what's this run async? Oh, what's the syntax to make that work? Maybe I have to do something, whoops. Maybe I have to do something like, you know, like this. Like, what's the syntax for it? Like, how's it work? How do I... Now all my code has to go in here for this method. And if you're doing saving and file streams and all that stuff, this can get pretty hefty. So this is another solution, right? But I'm not sure I like this one either, honestly. It's cool, it works. But what do you think about this approach? So this approach versus the e.saveComplete approach, right? Of these two, which approach do you like? Before I showed you the third option. Let's get it. Let's get one of these. Do you guys like having to call the saveComplete method to know to call the next round of logic? Like, do you want to put that responsibility on your developers who are consuming your API? Excuse me. Or would you like to force them to put their async code inside of a func of task that you can run and await? Anybody? Anybody care? You're like, I don't care, Brian. Yeah. Okay. So +1 for run async. Yeah. Dan, this is not Blazor. Okay? This is not Blazor. So run async isn't bad. Now let me show you a third option that I think I'm gonna go with. Okay. I think I'm gonna go with this third option. So I'm just gonna comment this out. We're gonna leave that up there. Let's leave the e.saveComplete, which I really don't like that one. It's just about, I don't want to put the responsibility of calling the next event on the consumer, on the event handler, right? Like that's knowledge they're not going to have. At least with this, it's either there or it's not, and it works no matter what, right? Like to the handler, to the code, the person consuming this, they have no control over calling saved. Saved will get called if they're using async or if they're not. It's just going to work. That, I do like that, right? Now, here's another approach. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but an event handler is just a delegate, right? If you go look at it, it's public delegate void event handler. That's all an event handler is. So we can actually create our own event handlers. Public delegate task async event handler. And we'll put in some event args. T. Yeah. T, and you know what? I'm just going to copy. I'm going to copy event here, T, and then we got to pass in our object here. Boop. There we go. And I call that T. We'll just call it T. Okay. So now we have a custom event handler. So what I can do is I can make saving my async event handler. I can now get rid of that code. And saving now looks like this. Right? So we get rid of this. I have an async event handler. I can now await my event handler. Then we have to go to the consumer, right? And let's change this to task, right? And what's this? Oh, no. Okay, yeah, no. We haven't returned anything yet. Now, I have an event handler that accepts a task. So this should work the same way. I'm going to run the application. I'm going to click the button. Here's the saving. Wait 2 seconds. 1, 2. And then we hit the saved. So I like this a lot. There are some disadvantages. One, this requires the event handler to always return a task, right? It's always going to have some type of async await going on in here. However, in my specific case, saving the objects in the framework and the product I'm working with, all the operations are async, right? All of them. So if you're saving or serializing or doing anything with an object in the product I'm working with, it's going to be async. So in my specific case, this works perfect. Now, it's not as intuitive. So for example, I'm going to, let's comment all that out right there. But what's cool is if I say plus equals, it's going to make the task for me automatically, right? So it will create the task-based event for me. And then I can go ahead and I don't have to return a task explicitly like this return. I can actually await task dot delay, 2 seconds. But if I do that, of course, it has to be, async. So you'd have async await. And you may ask yourself, well, Brian, when would you just do return? Oh, come on. If I can type. When would I know to use return versus using async await? Really, a good rule of thumb is if you don't have any code after your await, just return it. But if you have code after, maybe you're doing something with the result, or there's some other code running, more code here. Then go ahead and just do async await. So that's a good rule of thumb. Okay, core code. So I like this approach. I think that it makes it a little easier to consume. I mean, like I said, the most annoying thing would be if I didn't have any async code in here, which in my specific case, that won't happen. But if you're looking at this for your situation, there's no async code. You'd have to return a completed task, something like that. Right. And then tell us, oh, sorry, got to remove that. So when you're non-asynchronous, so your synchronous code, if you use this, you would have to return a completed task in order to make this work. So in my product, in my legacy product, I'm trying to improve, and we all have legacy products we work on, and we have to work within the confines of what we've given, right? We can't make everything perfect. We can't bring in new libraries and all kinds of new code and stuff. So in my specific scenario, I think this is a better approach than this, right? I mean, what do you think? If you were going to consume this and, you knew that whatever you're saving from the framework is done asynchronously, I mean, that's just how it's done. Would you have a problem with this? Like if you added this event handler and saw a task, you're like, oh yeah, this makes sense. Oh yeah, this is easy. I understand how this works. Or would it be like, I'm confused. I don't know how to use this. Like, which one would it be? Right? So Dan was saying, you can rip off the Blazor event system, use the same system, but no, I can't. I'm bound within the confines of this. I can't add a lot of new code. For one, it's very risky. We all know how it is maintaining existing code bases, right? I don't know. What do you all think? What do you all think? Holger says this third solution here is the cleanest, in his opinion. Oh. I think so. Because it takes the guesswork out, right? It takes the guesswork out. Now, there is some extra work you have to do here if you want to support this fully. So events can have multiple handlers, right? And in my product's case, you're not going to have multiple handlers for this. It's only one saving handler. And in my product specifically. However, in your case, if you're trying to create a custom async event that your code can await, well, then you're going to have to also get the invocation list, right? There's a, what is it called? I think it's saving.get. Yeah, you'd have to get all the handlers. And then you'd have to await them all, right? So after you get all the handlers, you'd await all of them. So it'd be like task await all, or all, what is it? It's task.wait, yeah, wait all. And then you pass in all the tasks from the invocation list that you got, right? That's if you were going to support multiple handlers. In my specific case, I don't have to worry about that. But in your case, if you're going to have multiple savings event, which honestly, that makes no sense to me. But if you're going to have multiple saving events, then you would have to make sure you do that to make sure like things are fired in the correct order and stuff. But other than that, I really like this approach. I think for someone that may be new to the product or even new to async await, this drives them to a path of success. Like if they have synchronous code, right? They're going to get a compiler error like var test equals test. Right, I have synchronous code in here, but man, why is this going? Oh, not all code paths return a value. Oh, it's a task. Like they can figure that out, right? The compiler, the build tools, the IDE will help drive them to success. So yeah, so that was my problem. Those were the three approaches I could come up with. I did find another approach that someone tweeted me. Let me bring that up real quick. So it's a much more involved solution. That's why I didn't add it to my project. But I reached out to Twitter saying, hey, I'm having this problem. And Pedro Lamas said, hey, I have a solution. And it uses deferred async events. And so there's a link here. So essentially, it's similar to what I did with my my event handler, where I added the the func onto the event handler, right? So it's similar to that, except it's mirrored after what was it? WinRT? Who did UWP? Who did this? Who did this? Yeah, windows.ui.xaml. So this is a pattern in the windows.ui.xaml called deferred events. And it kind of shows you how it works. You have to await and invoke a sync. And the way it's used in code is your handler, when you handle the event, you have to call get deferral, right? And then deferral.complete. You put your async code in here, your awaitable code, then you call complete. Or you can just wrap it e.getDeferral. So this is very similar to the func approach, but this is safer. This is probably safer with like multiple handlers and managing all that stuff. It's actually not that complicated. If you want to look at it, here I'll put this this link in the chat there. The code is actually quite simple. You have event args. It's like 3 classes. You have this event deferral, which that's all it is. Right? Nothing to it. It implements iDisposable. Then it has some extensions. This is where you're going to invoke async. Whoops, didn't mean to click on that. Okay. See how they're getting the invocation list? Yeah, he's kind of doing the same thing. Get invocation list. Right. Invocate delegates, deferral. Okay. And then the event args. So you would have deferral event args that you would use. So, I mean, it's not a ton of extra code, but it's more than I felt comfortable adding to this legacy system. And so for my specific scenario, you know, I think my approach worked a little better. But for your approach, this may work too, right? But what I don't like about it personally is this. Like, I don't want the handler or the person implementing the handler to have to know to add these lines of code or their code won't work, right? Especially if you have another event waiting on this one. I don't like that at all. So why can't Microsoft just add an async event handler that works properly? That it just works, right? If it's a delegate, it's a handler for a delegate. If I add async void, it just magically knows that, you know, it does some compiler trick and it just magically awaits it or something. You know, maybe they have a for a saving event, like saved, they can do invoke async, and I can await the invoke async of the event handler, and it like magically works for me, right? Like, come on, Microsoft, give us some options, right? But I also like this one because it makes my code cleaner. Makes my code a lot cleaner. Of course, you're going to want to check this as null, right? You make sure you're going to say, you know, if saving, not args. Well, first, you have to get the instance, like var event equals saving. Okay, maybe not event. Ha, fooled you. And then once you have it, if you would think I didn't even know how to write code the way I type, right? You'd have to do something like that to be safe, be super safe. But yeah, but I like this. I like that. I like it a lot. So that's it. That was my problem. It took me a few hours yesterday researching to try to come up with a good solution. But this is the trick. So if you ever want to create a custom asynchronous event, just do this. Pretty simple. Maybe I should make a YouTube video on this. Maybe I should make a YouTube video on that. All right, I got 15 minutes left. 15 minutes left, and I have a meeting. And then I have a hearing test after that. So at 1 o'clock, I have a hearing appointment because I'm going deaf. I gotta go get that checked out. That's not really well, I'm kind of going deaf, but I have a lot of ringing in my ears, you know, tinnitus from my military days, all the guns and explosions and tanks and choppers and planes and all that crap. So I get a lot of ringing in my ears, and it's really annoying. So I'm gonna go get that checked out. All right. That's that. I hope that helps everyone watching. Like, if you come into this scenario, it helps give you some options and things to think about, so you're not stuck. Like, I was straight up stuck doing a lot of research on the best way to do this. And for my scenario, my specific scenario, this seems like the best approach like for the reasons I explained, it helps guide those people to a path of success, and it helps people write code instead of magically knowing you need to call a method and then call another method. Like, no, I don't have that. Holger says, have to leave now. Nice discussion. Hey, thanks for joining. Hope to see you next time. Light theme, my eyes. So Andy Speed, 2003 says, light theme, my eyes, all caps. So I tried dark theme. I really did. I used dark theme for months. If you look at my past streams, even on my YouTube videos, it's dark. But that actually stressed my eyes out more. Like, my eyes were more tired more often. Like, it was worse for me. I don't think dark mode is all it's cracked up to be, honestly. I don't think it is. Yeah, it's all about the person. Right, Juan. Thank you. It's all about the person. For me, light is better. My eyes don't feel strained anymore. Yeah. I don't know. I want to do some research on, is dark theme really, is it just like a fad, or is it really good for your eyes? Because I don't think it's really good for you. I think it's a fad. Honestly, I think it's a hip thing, like being cool. Yeah, I'm cool. I do dark theme. Everything's dark theme. Yeah. I could tell a difference. Like, my eyes are so much more relaxed on light theme. I don't know why. Actually, you know what? Dark, he says it's really good for your eyes. Is dark theme really good for your eyes? Come on, Google, answer me this. Oh, well, there's a lot. Oh. While it could benefit to cut out screen glare at night when the general surroundings are dark, it might not be good for you to switch off all those pixels all at the time. Oh, so it might be related to your environment. Yeah, I'm not in a dark room. I am not in a dark room at all. Mr. Darth Slaw says, have you considered blue light glasses? I don't want to wear... I got LASIK like 10 years ago, so I wouldn't have to wear glasses. I'm not going to go put glasses on my face. Oh, here's a good one. I like this one because it reinforces my bias. I'm going to click on this one because it says it has a title that reinforces my bias. What is this? No, I don't care about performance. What is this? I can't turn those off. Ugh. You know what? What's this? Sucker. Okay. Get rid of that pop-up. That's how I deal with annoying pop-ups. I just freaking delete them. Yeah, the shadowy display mode has leagues of fans claiming it helps reduce eye strain. But dark mode isn't quite the screensaver it made out to be. Oh, I like this. I'm gonna have to read this. I have to read that. Mr. They're for filtering light ray screens and monitors. Huh. JD Girl says, you should add more things you can buy with Brian Bucks since you got rid of the masks. Oh. Yeah, sorry, JD. JD realized I got rid of all my masks. Mainly because, so for the masks, I was using an app called, what's it called? Snap Lens. It's from Snapchat, something like that. It's called Snap Lens. But it really screws up my video. The quality of the video, it's just not good. And so it was kind of fun for the stream, but it's like, you know what? It's not that important to where it screws my video up. So I uninstalled it. Oh man, but I still have, hold on. I have this somewhere. Where's my screen? Where's my screen? It's a raid. I still have, it's a raid. I lost my voice mod though. I lost my voice mod. Thanks for the raid. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. Thanks for joining. Oh, I need to fix this. I need to fix this. How many raiders do we have? 5 viewers. Nice. Code Rushed with the raid. I appreciate it. I always appreciate you, my friend. Yeah, loud noises. I need to turn... Yeah, and no hat. So, like I said, I was just explaining, I got rid of the masks. So the things where I could put on a Yoda head or like my Spartan, and I could do like, I had my little headphone thing or like an army helmet for the raid scene. But the problem is that to use that, I had to use an app called Snap Lens or something like that. And Snap Lens just kept messing with my video. It didn't always work. It was a real pain in the butt. It interfered with everything, right? So I just uninstalled it. Like, no more masks. No more masks. It's okay. Right? It's all right. It is what it is. I'll have to find other ways to entertain everyone. All right. I still have my other alerts, though. I still have Miley. I didn't get rid of Miley. I like Miley. Miley's awesome. Everyone loves Miley. You can't get rid of Miley. But yeah, so dark mode. I want to do more research on that, but for me, dark mode was not a good thing at all. And for those of you who just joined me, you're catching me at the end of my stream. But if you ever wanted to have an asynchronous event, right? So if you look at the code here, like, oh, hold on, let me uncomment that so I fix my break. If you want to have an event handler that is of type task, just create your own delegate, public delegate, async event handler. Create your event using that event handler, or that delegate. And now you can await your event just like a normal task, right? JD says, didn't you have a just do it guy? Yes, I do have a just do it guy. Absolutely.
Do it! Just do it!
He's so angry. He's so angry. Why is he so angry? I don't know. Need some, he needs to talk to somebody about that.
What kind of place is this?
It's good to see my alerts still work, though. All my commands still work. That's good to know. All right, so I have a meeting in 5 minutes, which, yeah, we'll save that. Which means I have to find someone else to raid real quick. So let's do this. We got to find someone who's on.
Hey, pal. You just blowing from Stupid Town?
Why, yes, I did. I live there. You know what? 1K Griff is on. Man, nobody is streaming right now. So let's do that. Let's do 1K Griff, shall we? Let's do 1K Griff. Code Rush, oh brother. Oh, I gotta remember how to do this. /raid 1K Griff. I hope that's, did I say that right? Dang it. That's how you say it. 1K Griff. My memory is horrible. I gotta go look. I want to double check. 1Kev Griff. I'm glad I checked. 1Kev, not K. I said K, but it said Kev, right? Well, I know it was a short stream. I really appreciate you all hanging in there with me. It was quick. We were in there. We're out. But we learned something cool. I hope I was able to help you with those async event handlers. Maybe you'll use it. I don't know. Maybe you'll find a better solution and tell me about it. But thank you for joining me. I love you all. I appreciate you all. And I will see you all next time. Later.